Alright, so this video was going to be full of vitriol and disappointment, but I've had to think about this, um, and unfortunately, the issue is not so simple as I would have liked to have thought. Basically, uh, Gadget has now put out the Königstiger for Sweden, which is obviously a Tiger 2P, and it's going to be for Sweden, and that's fine. The major problem is not the fact that it's a German tank. It's the fact that it's a premium German tank. Now, Sweden, obviously being one of the less developed factions, countries, I keep saying factions for some fucking reason, being one of the less developed countries, they are obviously in need of a heavy tank. Not just because of the fact that heavy tanks can actually be really good at just being brawlers in most cases, and for army composition in a game, it would make sense. The other bit would be that if you wanted to play as a heavy tank and you like Sweden, it's impossible. You cannot complete that little daily task because remember you've got daily tasks now, right? We have daily tasks in the game. If you somehow get a heavy tank, anything relating to a heavy tank in those daily tasks, you can't play Sweden, right? That's all, or at least you weren't before. Either that, or you just change the task. But it's just it makes the game more difficult because then you have to pick and choose. Do I change the country that I'm playing, or do I change the task that I'm doing? Obviously, you'd probably change the country and go play Germany or Russia because they have great heavy tanks. But Sweden has obviously always needed a heavy tank. And after looking at the tech tree, because after this announcement, I did briefly look, and they have a lot of German tanks. A lot of high tier is made up of Leopards. Hell, they even have the Leopard 2A4 at the same. I think that's the same BR as the German one, and they're both packs, and it's insane. Okay, I admit that is quite scummy. You could have at least put that a tank as a front. Put like give the 2A4 an opportunity to be bought for Golden Eagles instead of just straight up real money, right? Because at the very least, there's no need to put literally the exact same tank in two different tech trees. Oh my god. Okay, I know I'm veering off into another video that I did where I talked about the problem with having multiple variants of the same vehicle. In fact, no, duplicate vehicles in two different or more tech trees. And you can go watch that video above me, by the way, for some context. But yeah, it's the exact same tank, exact same BR for both Germany and for Sweden. Now, obviously, Sweden has always needed a heavy tank. However, the fact that it's a premium tank as in you need to pay money to have access to it at all, is insane. Because at the very least, what you could have done is, oh, we're trying to, like, I'm assuming, like, from the very surface level research that I've done, this tank was, I guess, supposed to be captured from France or something? Or whatever? Regardless of the history, you could have put the Tiger P in the normal research tree and have a Tiger H in the premium tree. That would still work for your model, but it would give players the ability to have a heavy tank for free that they could research. Because there's no reason why you should be able to do that. I get the fact that this faction, that this country, has a lot of German tanks in it, and looking at its history, they had like loads of different regulations. For example, their tanks could only be a certain weight so that they could cross bridges and stuff. So they couldn't have larger caliber guns or heavier tanks or whatever. which is why they usually like stole Germany's tanks or something. But at the end of the day, there's no reason why you can't offer free-to-play players a chance to have a heavy tank for free in the research tree. There really isn't. I think that is the problem, which I take them which I have. That's the problem. Where what am I trying to say? I think that's the biggest problem here, because obviously them including Sweden they're developing themselves into a corner here, because they know that they can easily just copy over these vehicles to another tree, and I guess that's why it makes it so easy to develop a faction, right? But holy Christ, you could have at least put that heavy tank for free for everybody else. Would I have picked a Tiger? I mean, like, I honestly, Tiger's not that bad. Tiger's not a bad choice at all. As far as I know, Sweden did capture a lot of German machinery at the Second World War. I don't think they did have much to do with Russia, even though Sweden were not very fond of Russia to begin with. But Tiger 1, Tiger 2 isn't bad. I just wished that it was free. And I guess this has always been a precedent where, if I want to offer a vehicle to a faction where they would actually like to have something like a heavy tank, for example. I mean, Italy had this problem. Japan had this problem. And what did Gaijin do? They put 2 Tiger 1s in both of those fucking tech trees. Yes, we know. I get Japan, because in history, Germany offered Japan some heavy tanks, which the Japanese didn't end up taking back, because apparently I don't think they developed a submarine or whatever, or at least a naval vessel to carry the tanks back, flat-packed. So when the time came to defend Germany's borders, Germany had to lease the tanks back from the Japanese temporarily, except they didn't, because Germany ended up losing as well. But I can understand for Japan, that's fine. For Italy, I don't know, what the fuck, man? That's the issue, right? Half the countries don't have their own proper heavy tanks because they didn't develop them. And now we're at the point in the development history of tanks in general, heavy tanks just aren't useful anymore at all. So why would you make one at this point? It's usually main battle tanks, SPGs, and light tanks. And that's it. No heavies. Heavies are just obsolete now. But they must have known this. I honestly cannot see this as anything else but a little scummy. Because at the end of the day, they must have known that they couldn't have brought in any other heavy tank. Unless they wanted to take a dip into, World of Tanks territory and go, we're going to introduce a heavy tank that wasn't technically created, right? For example, for Sweden, if they were going to do that, right, with a tank that hadn't properly been built yet, not even a prototype, they could have done the Krav, right? Which is basically an AMX-50, except a bit smaller. That would have perhaps been a bit better, because it's not quite the same, but it just embodies a lot of similar design elements, like the oscillating turret and the pint nose, for example, etc., etc. That could have been a little better than a Tiger 2. But at the end of the day, the Krav didn't even get made. It was only its hull that got produced at the time. So, we can't do that because it's not quite accurate to real history, to be honest, even though the Offspring 2 exists. Yes, Brain. What is that exactly? So, yeah, this is a bit of a ranty video. I wanted to get something out because, one, it's been a while since I've uploaded, and two, I'm quite disappointed with the way this has gone so far. I want to just say that, for me personally, I would not buy the Battle Pass this time, because if I want to go and play the Tiger 2, I'll go play the free version in Germany. If you're already a player that started grinding on Germany, you're losing out on nothing. Just go play Germany. They already have the Tiger 2P They already have the Tiger 2H, they have the SLA-16, and they have the 10.5cm KWK in case you were one of the few people that actually managed to get that tank while it was still available. They got 4 Tiger 2s. Go play Germany. Like, there's no reason to play Sweden, really, at least for heavy tank purposes. Like, it's sad, 100%, but like, I had a brief look at the history, and it's like, well, there's nothing that says that they actually fully produced a working tank that was designated as a heavy tank, either because it was heavy or because it had a large armament, right? But there's nothing like that. They were in the process of making one, but they never got made, which is what I talked about brief just now. So, honestly, yeah, they've intentionally gone down this route, and it does seem like they're gonna stick with it, unfortunately, and I'm honestly quite disappointed. I mean, hell, the Battle Pass has gotten the fucking another Mustang. Like, do we need another Mustang? Like, how many factions have got a Mustang now? It's crazy. But I'm putting out a very rambly video this time. Hopefully this is kind of makes sense to some degree. Again, if you want to watch the video where I actually discuss in proper detail why it's bad to put like multiple vehicles and multiple different like fucking tech trees and above me right there. But yeah, it's a quick video. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna put out like in the next couple of videos, I will actually have a Kane's Wrath video like I promised. But I'm actually editing that. I'm willing to actually make it good. So, you know, there's no definite date on when that's going to be made. But yeah, regardless, that's going to be it from me for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.